the one that had to live with it, dude. I just couldn't do it. And I'll tell you, my buddy, this is what cemented it for me. My buddy called it a dick tickler.
Oh gosh, that'll do it.
That did it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
yeah. What are you gonna do? What did he call you? A big guy next? Looks like a dick tickler, big guy. Oof, that'll get you.
yeah. I mean, that's a 1-2 punch right there.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, the good thing is it just grows back. So I'm just going semi clean shaven,
it's been
and
so
we'll
long
see where
since
it goes.
I've been clean shaven. I might do it. I've been growing my hair out. Like it's getting like long. I'm
I've
like,
noticed
man,
that.
yeah, I might just buzz my head and shave
Whoa.
just and see what happens.
Yeah. I think you should try it out and see what happens.
Uh, yeah, or buzz it and keep the beard or something. I don't know. My wife's like, "What are you doing with the hair?" And I'm like, "I'm just not cutting it. I don't know. Like, there's no intention. It's just growing. I'm letting it do what hair does."
That's what happens. That's what happens.
But anyway, when we're not here to talk about, I mean, if we're here to talk about facial hair, that's different. But now we're talking about head hair, and that's
It's
gay. So we don't need
it's
to
a
talk
bear
about
market though.
that.
This is what you do. When the price shits the bed, you talk about anything else.
I mean, we're at 65. It's just, it feels like this is never ending.
It's a solid foundation. We're going to 10x from here.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like for that to happen this year.
Yeah, or anytime.
Anytime soon.
Maybe the year after.
Well, here's the thing. We're going into the Bitcoin conference in April. All right, we're a couple months away, month and a half
Okay.
away.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's later in April, actually. So it's a couple months, 2.5 months, maybe. Well, we know what happens at the Bitcoin conference. Price always dumps. So
Always.
if we're going into the conference in the 60s, we're walking out in the freaking 50s. Maybe maybe the
Let's go.
40s. That
Let's
would be
go.
something, you know? And
It's all so unpredictable though. And I mean, you just can't escape that. And you get so used to listening to voices that it has an influence on what your perception is. And then you have giant market makers that are going to play games with leverage and get cleaned out. And that destroys the cycle and the chart analysis right there.
yeah,
There's like you cannot prepare for everything. And there weren't a lot of people that said we were going to be dumping from 120 down to 60, you know. Like that wasn't really something people talked about.
I'll say this. Talked a lot of trash when Luke Roman came out and said all the things that he said.
Uh,
I mean, what did he say? What was his prediction?
he said there was weakness. He said there was structural weakness, and he thought he could buy the Bitcoin back lower.
Yeah, how low?
And
Did you say a number?
I think he said 40s,
He
40s
said
or
40s.
50s. Yeah. So you got to prepare for any of those numbers. The most important thing is move your Bitcoin into self-custody. The price doesn't matter. One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. There are only 21 million. That's the right way to play this. And
That's the only way to
then
play it. That's it. Like,
find a way to get cash flow.
I think a good thing about, well, you got a lot of these treasury companies, none of them, or some of them, very few, are actually producing something of value, right? The vast majority of them are just pumping their own stock so they can buy more Bitcoin themselves. And one of the least interesting things that's spawned out of the Bitcoin community, and actually maybe it's not a spawn from within the Bitcoin community, I think it's sort of maybe like leached on to the Bitcoin community, is like this entire treasury movement of retail investors out there that are simping for these stocks and they make it like their entire brand. And that's kind of
Yeah,
all they talk about, and it's it's just not fun. I think it's Wall Street. It's everything that we actually hate and have disdain for. And
true.
if there's one benefit of this, maybe it's just a bunch of those guys getting washed out and then seeing the light. and being
No.
like, you know what, man? Well, like I did with the shit coins, right?
Mm.
Like I did a little bit of shit coining, and you get wrecked, and you're like, oh man, that sucks. Like, man, but Bitcoin seems okay. And then you just like, well, Bitcoin's like the only thing that matters. So maybe it's part of that. The the only thing is that the guys, the suits that like the Bitcoin treasury stuff and like these finance bros that like the treasury stuff, like they have both feet into the mainstream financial world. Whereas those that adopted crypto and got burned had disdain for that world from the get-go. Right.
Yeah. They
So
wanted something different.
they wanted something different and they got burned. And so yeah, it's different, but I wish that and I think we will, like, I think we're going to find separation from that whole movement, but it's happening
Hey,
now. A lot of people talk about it, and then you look at, we're in the reputation damage phase of a lot of these Bitcoin influencers that pivoted over to treasury influencers. And so, they staked their reputation on working for X, Y, or Z company. And, all the Bitcoiners that saw that for what it was, Bitcoiners don't really forget. So
that's true.
those folks, like, it's like, oh man, like there's a huge reputational risk for, playing with fire.
I think if the treasury thing worked out, it would have been fine because Bitcoiners look at it as, okay, hey, look, more adoption. They're taking Bitcoin to Wall Street and they're going to get mom and pop to buy it in their stocks and their 401ks, and then everybody will have Bitcoin. And I think if the treasury codes were doing well, I don't think Bitcoiners would really care because it's reducing the supply. And as the price goes up, as the supply decreases, more people learn about Bitcoin. And that's I think our goal. I want everyone to have Bitcoin. And I know that the banks will have some and the countries will have some and the bad guys will have some. But if we're all playing by the same rules, it's fine because nobody can cheat. You got to play by the rules. So I think the only reason they get so much disdain is because it turned out to be a grift. Like the grift didn't work for the most part you know? And I
Right.
would say that's if they had been successful, we would have probably been fine with it. And you wouldn't have
Well,
had the reputational risk.
well, the grift didn't turn out because they weren't producing anything of value, and because it was a grift to begin
Well,
with.
some of them were companies like Semler, right? They were like a medical device company. And I can't remember which one, but they had a cash flow business. And the idea is we'll just become a Bitcoin treasury company, use our cash flow business to buy more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like what Sailor's doing,
I, I,
Sailor's
I like that
doing
type
some
of
other
stuff. I
things.
think that's good,
Yeah,
and I like Bitcoin Treasury for like that. If you have a cash flowing business, it's just when you start relying on the retail investors who are cheerleading for your company.
that's the point. It's
That's
like
the point.
you're
That's the
asking
difference.
people to buy your stock and instead of focusing on delivering a great product to the free market.
Right.
You're saying the headline is that we have Bitcoin on our balance sheet, we're going to buy more. That should not be the headline. And that, like, take another company. Let's just say a trucking company, and they start buying Bitcoin. Great. They provide a great service. The service allows them to generate revenue. They use the revenue to buy more Bitcoin. They become one of the biggest, publicly traded trucking companies, conglomerates.
Yeah.
That's great. That's not bad. The bad part is, they were selling everyone on ideas that had no substance.
Right.
It was like, we're just going to buy Bitcoin, so buy our stock. So yeah. Yeah, that whole thing's cooked, but I would just say a lot of people were cheering it on because it looked like more Bitcoin adoption was happening.
Hmm. I
And
think, well,
Bitcoin's scarce, and the
the
faster we get to scarcity, the faster people learn about it.
yeah, I think the Treasury bros are down bad. I think they're in the dumps, farther in the dumps than the Bitcoin guys, right?
We're not in the
Because
dumps. Are you in the dumps?
no, I'm just saying, like,
You
I
seem
think,
like you're in the dumps.
well, I
Are
mean,
you
we're
in the
at we're
dumps,
at
dude? You're
65.
okay.
We're at 65,000. We're so it is what it is. We've dumped. We're in the dumps. But like The difference is our
That's fair.
relationship with that pain versus the Treasury Rose relationship with the pain.
I see a lot of volatility. Like I think we're bouncing between 65 and 68 quicker. And to me, that it's like something's happening. I feel like those are tremors.
I
And
still stake my opinion, my very simple opinion on one thing is that midterms are coming up in November, and you can't expect any Republicans to win when Bitcoin is down and the stock market, all this stuff, gold's down, silver's down. So, like, I don't know. I maybe that's just completely retarded. Maybe they don't have control over everything,
it's
but
February. It's
it's
February.
February. We've got a lot of time between then and now. So, if that's the case, then this is a great opportunity. This is like the last window of opportunity that we're gonna get, I think.
I think that almost every day. I
Yeah.
think every day it's going to be 10 million like in a week.
Yeah.
Because Cash App, take them. They've now removed all fees, and you can buy whatever large size amount of Bitcoin that you want, and you can send it to your private wallet. And that's just one instance. I don't think the big money is ignoring Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's getting just held underwater right now so that the high net worth people can accumulate.
Mhm.
And that has a time restriction on it. They're only going to be able to accumulate for so long. The price is going to escape, and then we're going to be, you know, in a much higher place, much higher price. So I feel like that could happen very soon.
Me too. But well, we'll see. We'll see. I,
We're
listen.
I
I'm just withholding
It's a
the
frustration.
possibility that we can go lower. We can go into the 50s, but we might not. Like I never tell anyone to wait for that. If you've got the money to deploy it now.
Think
And
of the memes though. If we go back to 58,
I
we're
know,
gonna have so much
dude.
fun.
Well,
It'll be
58
fun.
feels like destiny at this point.
Yeah, I mean it'll be fun. I remember wanting it to go back to 58 because it was in like the 30s.
Yeah.
And I was like, why can't we just get back to 58? And
Yeah.
now here we are getting sucked in over the event horizon. Just the black hole of 58 is pulling us in.
Yeah, it is kind of nuts to be like in the 60s that or maybe approaching 58 going down and the vibe is so much different than what it used to be. But this is where Bitcoiners are made. This is our time to shine. This is where all the
Yeah,
glory is captured. This
I
is where all the
love it
loot
when
and the
people hate
booty he
the
gets.
booty.
The booty.
Exactly. I love it when people hate Bitcoin. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I have selfish reasons for thinking that.
Have you been bookmarking? I like to bookmark when I see people shitting on Bitcoin. I'm like, I'll bookmark that. Bitcoin haters,
No.
right in the folder. I'll revisit this in a couple years. See,
I do have I do have an enemies of Bitcoin bookmark for all of the core people.
okay, well that's
I'm a
that's
I'm a BIC
that's
110
a bit different
supporter.
one though.
Yeah, but I think it is fun when you see somebody's post like months later and it's negative towards Bitcoin. And just like you described, someone goes back and says, haha, how you like me now? And you see all these Bitcoiners that you know that also dunked on that person.
Yeah.
That's fun. I don't know, man. Bitcoin culture is the best. And I think what's happening is we're wanting to get back to those cypherpunk roots where
Hmm.
you can do things without authority telling you yes or no.
Yep.
And I think there's more stuff being built on Bitcoin. I think we're going to see tons of innovation. And I don't think that focusing on the price is, the end all be all. I think it's just, there's nothing else to talk about. But there's so much, I guess, is the point.
Yeah, for
People
sure.
don't think there's a lot to talk about outside of the price, but Bitcoin's just too cool.
It's been really not exhausting. I'm not exhausted by it. I'm just perturbed by it. I hate the fact that a lot of these like right-wing influencers are psyoping people that don't know any better into believing that Bitcoin was hijacked. And it's like, dude, if we can't win the right wing, uh,
Dude, the right wing is,
like they're
a lot of
addicted,
those.
they're addicted to failure, and it's crazy. It's like I don't know. I'm
A
right
lot of,
wing and everything, like I'm on the right, but like, come on,
yeah, same.
don't be retarded. Like
Yeah,
it's
but
coming from like everywhere. I feel like I'm like, who are these people? And then you got this guy Jake Shields. Jake Shields posted a meme or a picture of Rhodesia, with the
yeah,
guys with their shirts off with the guns. And he's like, we are Rhodesia. I'm like, brother, 3 weeks
yeah.
ago, you were crying on X about how ICE is the worst thing that's ever happened, and we shouldn't be deporting. Like getting into confrontations with people to deport them, but it's Rhodesia, and this is the last stand. Like, make up your damn mind. I just feel like these people just grift. They just go wherever the attention is, and they try and latch on to that, and they don't actually have much of a moral compass, right?
Yeah, that's probably right.
Like I used to like this
Yeah.
Ian Carroll guy, but he just kind of pisses me off. And I think he's really suspect too. Like comes out of nowhere, getting he's on Tucker Carlson talking about Pizzagate, but like come on, man. Like there's other people that have been talking about Pizzagate for so long. You can say whatever you want about like Whitney Webb, right? But she's been talking about this stuff forever, right? So how do
I saw she was in the Epstein files.
you
Did you see that? I'm not
no,
even joking, dude.
no.
I'm not even joking. Somebody was posting about how she's in the Epstein files.
I
We
saw
should
also
probably
saw
pull it up and
yeah,
search,
pull it
but
up, but I also saw they said Mark Goodwin was in the Epstein files, but he's like, dude, I was not even born. It's a different Mark Goodwin.
oh,
So like, because where he's like, oh no, I would have been 14.
I
Well,
don't know. I don't know. Come on.
okay, but
Do you
there's
know
this
what's in the files, dude?
there was this
I mean, not that it's
reporter. I
funny.
don't know if he was like a local television reporter, like an investigative journalist, and he would do these segments, and he did one on Pizzagate. This is years ago, and he did this segment, and then they fired him. And so his whole
Yeah.
career since then has been about that whole thing. It's been about, you know, like uncovering the truth of what happened. He's dedicated his life to it and felt the repercussions of that. But Tucker doesn't have him on. He's got Ian Carroll on. I don't know. The Tucker's got CIA connections. I think this
I think,
Ian Carroll
yeah,
guy also
I
does
think
because
you're,
his dad apparently was in the CIA or had
I
worked
think you're
with
right to
like
question. I
and
think
Ian said, "Oh yeah, no, the CIA definitely they tried to recruit me, but I wouldn't go that route." I'm like, huh,
I didn't do it.
huh. Why would they try and recruit you? Like,
Let's go back to that. Will you please explain that a little more?
so
Yeah, no,
I don't know, man.
I think
I have no trust for like a lot of these people. There's just a few people that I do trust, but they're
I
very
don't,
few. And I
yeah,
entertain it all. Like I like Tucker. He does some great stuff. He says a lot of good things, but some of these things, like what was your decision in like having this person on instead of this person?
I think you're right to be suspicious. And I think it's also safer not to trust anybody.
Yeah,
You're looking at
yeah,
yesterday, you got Pam Bondi and, in front of Congress and just whatever that was. And it occurred to me, this is just another humiliation ritual.
yeah.
We're all just being humiliated. And the point is, we're not going to get any justice. Nobody's going to be held to account. If anyone is, it'll be like low level middle people. But the entire earth, we're all going through this humiliation ritual. I think that's what it is. And the point is, you
Cares if
don't
the
have the
kids
power. You don't
who
have the
care
power. You're nothing.
who cares if the children have been being abused? The Dow's at 4,000.
That was, yeah, that's the whole point I'm making. It's,
Yeah.
it's so out of left field, intentionally gaslighting and really just ignoring the question. Obviously, she's not going to do anything. She was put in there to make sure she wouldn't do anything. And that's what they want you to feel totally demoralized. The boot is on the neck. There's nothing you can do.
I don't think there's
And I
really
think
anywhere to
that's the
turn.
whole point. That's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Thomas Massey, who I like a lot of the stuff, right? He's been great in the Epstein files, but he's horrible on immigration. Like, like doesn't want to deport anybody. They voted
Yeah.
against censoring Ilhan Omar. Like horrible. And that's the most existential issue at the moment. So it's like, yeah, like I love
Mhm.
Thomas Massey for a lot of the way, like he's great for a lot of things, but like, how could you be so bad about that thing?
Sounds like you're not going to be voting in the fall.
You know, yeah,
Yes. That's the whole
you
point.
know,
Stop playing the ritual. Who cares? The only thing you can literally do is take your money out of the system. That's it. That's the only
yeah.
thing you can do. You could just say, it's like what's that movie from the 80s? The only winning move is not to play.
All right, I might change my opinion here, but I'll vote for JD Vance. I'd vote for him today.
You're lying to me.
No, man, I wouldn't. I know there's
Are
the
you kidding?
Palantir connections, the Peter Thiel stuff. I know, but
You're
like,
vote you're
if it
voting for
if it's JD Vance versus Kamala Harris, I'm not
no,
gonna
it's gonna
sit
be
back and be like, oh, let's let this play out. I'm not gonna do that. I might change my opinions. We'll see what happens, but
this is gonna be funny to look back on.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But who would I vote for? Who would I like? No one, right? But like, man, if you put anyone, like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll just see. This is just such a murky time.
Just step out of the dirty water.
I feel like they would kill anybody that is of value, and they have. They've already tried killing people that are of value. And I don't know if you've been paying attention to this stuff about Richard Nixon coming out in the last couple days.
What did he kill Kurt Cobain?
Yeah.
What about going off the gold standard and that whole thing, the Nixon shock? What else happened?
He was innocent, dude. The whole Watergate thing,
Oh yeah, I knew that.
like there's nothing on him. And he
Yeah.
basically, this is in the height of the Cold War, right? And so
Hmm.
he had the evidence to go out and say the deep state, pulled the rug out from under me. Here's all the evidence. He knew. He had
Yeah.
the evidence and he withheld it because it was the best thing for the country. And the
Yeah.
question then is, if we've been cooed in the 70s already, the early
Yeah.
70s.
Gerald Ford was a puppet, dude. He was
Yeah,
not a real. He was forced to run with him. It was not his
the
will.
coup's already happened. So what have we been living through from the early 70s up till now? Some puppet government.
Wake up.
Israel's controlling America. Like,
Wake
and
up.
the smart play for any other, the smart play for the deep state is not to be like, okay, we're gonna have a coup and everyone's gonna know that we had a coup and we're taking over strong power. No, they're like, what we're gonna do is it's all about soft power. All right, we're doing this behind the curtain. Nobody's gonna know.
Nobody
Nobody's
will
gonna know.
know.
We want to keep things status quo. Just keep it like it is, and then no, yeah, then we just control things. We pull the strings from behind the curtain. Of course, you would do things that way. So, I don't know. We need some kind of revolution. There is going to be some reckoning. I hope, but we've been for the masses have been forced into just complacency, bread and circuses, right? They steal the money out from under you and they force you to have to work your ass off just to get by. Because if you have to
Right.
work your ass off just to get by, you don't have any energy to
You're
commit to
too busy.
changing country, right?
You're too busy. The
You're
only
too
thing you have
busy.
left for is a few minutes of escape into
Right.
sports and
You
Netflix. And
scroll on
that's
the
great.
phone. Right.
That's what I was saying, I think on one of our shows. Like we've lost the capacity that our ancestors had. We don't know how to do it. I think our only option is for Bitcoin to go to the moon and the people who hold Bitcoin help bring in a
Right.
new paradigm
That's the
because
thing.
those are the guys that have the money, they have the morality, they know what the world should look like because it's based on truth and it's not based on trust. You don't have to trust anything with Bitcoin. You can verify it yourself. So I think it's either Bitcoin or nothing. There is no other hope, no other government, no other politician, no other money system. It's either dystopia or Bitcoin.
Yeah, and then you have to begin hiring and patronizing people within your community of Bitcoiners that see the world
Got to
ideologically the
get
same.
got to get more people. Yes, I think the best way for people to get excited about Bitcoin is to watch it go up as they're buying it.
Hmm.
And if it continued to just go up in a parabolic move, where let's say you buy at 65, it goes to 70, 80, 90, 100, and so forth, that would bring about all of the people who are saying, "Hey, I bought it last week and I'm up today. I'll buy it today and I'll be up next week." And if you have this continual sort of pattern of acceleration, then I think the narratives start to shift. And I think there's a coordinated effort to keep Bitcoin low and to put as much bad news out there.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Then they fight you. We're in the then they fight you stage.
Well, let's fight back and stack some sats right now. What do you say?
Let's stack some sats. 65,390 for one Bitcoin. Gonna buy my weekly 21 using Strike. It's gonna get me 31,000 sats. All right, let's do it. And done. Got it. That's good. Taking the power back. It's really the only thing you have outside of some kind of like quasi January 6th scenario, which I don't think that that is a realistic option. So that's it, man. Defund
But
the state. Defund defund the other side. That's the only way we win.
just want to defund the other side. You know, I want a state where we're in power.
The thing is, like, if it were to happen in that way, where people adopt Bitcoin and it becomes a thing that people use, it makes everyone better. It makes life better for everyone. It doesn't matter like what side of the aisle you're on anymore because we're all playing by the same rules.
Yep.
That's the most important thing. There's no cheating.
Hmm.
And that's all you have today. Like you can hardly be successful without doing something illegal.
I know.
I mean, look at all the people who are successful. Most of them, I don't want to say that, but it's hard not to look at the world and say that's the only way to be successful.
Well, you're rewarded for being a bad person, right? This is just unfortunate truth of this world is that you are, and then, a lot of these people, they live their lives in comfort and they never see any justice up until, they find ultimate justice. But in this world, that you can get by being a bad person, screwing other people over, and giving your life, whatever materialistic meaning you want to ascribe to it. Um,
Bleak.
yeah, yeah, and that it's a truth because it wouldn't then be admirable to be a good person because to be a good person is to say no. I leave those things on the table.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I won't sink down. So that tells you that you're the incentive structure there. But it's it's all a spiritual battle. It all comes down to things being on the
You're
spiritual
right.
level. So
You're right, dude. Good versus evil. Christ versus the enemy.
Satan, a lot of
We covered a lot today,
demonic
dude.
stuff out there, dude. The trans shooter. I don't know if you saw. I saw this video
I
of him like
did.
demons
That was my first thought when I saw that video. I thought unfortunately, this person is possessed.
possessed, dude. I mean, it's like undeniable. How could you look at that and say anything else?
I think that's what's being shoved in our face. Like we're seeing how evil the world is, and we're being forced to accept it.
Yeah, we
No
won't.
justice. This
We
is
won't
just the
accept
way
it.
it is.
We won't
This is the way
accept
it
it.
is.
Call me racist, call me xenophobic, call me transphobic, call me fascist, call me Nazi, call me whatever you want to call me. But there is absolute truth, okay? And we're sticking to whatever that truth is. And we will not bend whatsoever to appease any irrational world views that these people have. No, absolutely not.
We're at the end stage. This is the end.
Yes. And thank God that we have this moment in time to be the ones that are, on the front lines of this battle.
Yeah. Hopefully standing up for what's right. You
Yeah, so
know,
hopefully
that's
your kids, when they're grown and everything and they're adults and they're our age and older, things are different, or at least for
mhm.
their kids.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, my kids are Bitcoiners.
Yeah, well, they're going to be just fine then.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, also think about the light is brightest, right, when it's darkest.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I don't think that it's all bad news. I think it's just got to
Yeah.
turn on that light.
That reminds me to remind you to watch True Detective season 1.
Ah, I looked. I have to subscribe to one of those
No, dude.
Paramount or
No, you don't.
something, HBO Max,
Use
something.
no, dude, you just stream it illegally.
Okay,
Use
DM me after the show.
Yeah.
I know you're
I'm
kidding.
such a cheap bastard. I got all the websites. When we're trying to find
Yeah.
a movie, I tell my wife, I'm like, let me see if I can hack into this website. I'm just like, she's like, I
There
see
used
you
to
on the
be
site.
there used to be a guy on Noster and he had a website where you could pay him like 30 sats, which is like nothing, and you could rent a movie. And they were all pirated, but I didn't realize that. And I was like, how's this guy doing it? He's got all these legitimate movies and you can just rent them with the Lightning Network. And he was shut down after like a week.
That's crazy. On
Yeah.
Noster.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I just shared that link with you. This is good. This is like pretty foolproof, to be honest. So, I don't know. Well, let me
I
know what
didn't
you
get the
find.
link. I'm not committing any crimes. I know nothing about this.
Yeah,
All right, I'll check it.
I'm just totally kidding. I don't
All
know.
right, yeah.
I'm just messing around. We're all
Oh,
just
it just goes to your website.
Yeah,
Okay, that's funny.
communications.com. That's right. You
There you
got
go.
everything you need there.
It's a
All your needs
one-stop
will come
shop.
with it.
It's the
um,
modern Silk Road.
so, don't say that. Uh, all right, so let's wrap up. But we got exciting news. Next week we're gonna have Keith Gardner of Bronta on. Great dude. Based.
I I know of Bronta. I haven't met Keith. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good.
That'll be really fun. So he'll be joining us next week. If you've got questions for Keith, for Bronta, send them over. We'll make sure to ask him. Send some voice memos. Give us a little fodder, some things to like react to on the show. That'd be great. Do that. Like, subscribe, and you better have stacked with us. If you didn't stack with us, you shouldn't even be watching this show. Even if it's
Yeah,
five
turn it
bucks,
off.
stack $5 for yourself. Don't give us
Five
anything. Give
bucks, dude.
yourself something. Okay.
Download Strike or River by $5 and then send those sats to your Blue Wallet or your Moon Wallet or Zeus or whatever.
Or mana.
Mana
Mana.
Wallet. Mana Wallet. Mana Wallet is the
Mana.
best.
I said mana because I don't know why, but mana. Because I was saying Bronta, and then went I had to stick to the
Branta.
same Branta mana.
Mana Wallet's cool because you can put a note in your payment and it shows right there underneath your note
Mana's
or
cool
right
for a lot
underneath
of
it.
reasons, tons of reasons actually. The list is
Yeah.
long. We don't need to go through all the reasons why, but yeah, buy Bitcoin, download the Mana wallet, and use it. Play around with it. It's really fun. It's really sleek.
Yeah. When you send one transaction to your buddy, it's called Mana a Mana.
That's good. That's good. Did you think is that just you just thought of that?
Spontaneous.
We gotta hopefully Adam watches this one and he can incorporate that into some social posting 'cause that's pretty good.
I think that's got some legs.
Yeah.
You could riff off of that.
Yeah, you could do a whole social campaign behind that.
Yeah. Yeah. Send sats to your amigo.
Yeah. Mana y mana. Mana y mana.
There you go.
All right, okay, let's end it. And I
See you
don't know.
Monday.
We'll see you Monday. Later.
Have a good week.